Well, howdy folks. Okay, what you're looking at here is pistons. Alright, well I can zoom out here. Yeah, I got two pistons. Alright, you'll see in the past video, previous video, that I got the head off. And if you look at, let me zoom in on this one here, you can see all of the rings are free-ish and moving around. You know, you got your oil ring, your other two rings here. This one here may be kind of stuck still. Not worried about the rings. I'm going to get new rings. I still got more measuring to do. I'm trying to do this without taking the pistons out. The pistons actually look fine. Yeah, they look fine. And I'm trying to get on this ring right here. Let me get you over there. You see what I'm pointing my fat finger at. This one here is the cylinder that was stuck the worst, and this top ring here is stuck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat it up with a torch and see if I can pop it loose. I'm not worried about breaking the ring because I'm getting new rings for it. I did notice, and I know the wood didn't do this, there's a little nick in this piston here. I don't think it's going to cause any issues. I will try to file it lightly. Yeah, ultimately I'm probably going to end up taking these out of here, but I'm just trying to mess around with this before I do so. So there's where I am with that. I did take, let me zoom you back out here, and I did take the side cover off here, right there where your stator is, magneto, whatever you want to call that thing, so I could spin the engine and you can get the pistons up a little bit. Now here is this doohickey. This is the cam chain tensioner, and yes, for once I was actually looking in the manual. Believe it or not. And I'm telling you, I need to highlight some of this stuff in here because they really, and this is a Honda, factory Honda manual, they don't really talk about a lot of things, things that I feel as though are rather important. So let me move you over here to the head, or the cylinder, yeah, cylinder head. This doohickey goes in this little hole, and if you notice, if you're looking at this thing, it's kind of flat on one side and round on the other. I was actually looking in the manual specifically for this because this thing was laying down inside the engine. When I took this off, you know, I'd loosened this up and it fell down in there, which no big deal. I mean, I pulled it out with a pair of needle nose pliers. This goes like this with the flat side facing the screw. So when you tighten down that cam chain bolt, it'll, you know, grab onto that flat spot and keep it from spinning. There is a spring that goes over this in the bag here. So when I go to put this back in, because I was looking in the manual, it's like, okay, how's this thing just, does it sit here? I'll show you here in a sec what I'm talking about. But yeah, you just put your spring on, you push it in here, and then you know, you can adjust it, you know, to whatever, you know, put it all the way up, whatever. I'm guessing because the manual doesn't really state, and then snug that up, keep it from falling out. The reason I say this is because, you know, two-stroke person mainly, so I'm not familiar with all this timing chain and valves and all that crap. But right here is where this piece, the cam chain tensioner, it just sits. It just sits right on top of this thing, you know, and that's how you can adjust the tension on the chain. This piece is a separate piece, and if you, it'll come out like this. So, and you can see the wear marks. So this thing just rides right on top of here. Yeah. Then we have the sleeves right here, which I've just got them parked in here, so I don't, because I don't want to mix them up, you know, put them into the wrong cylinders. You know, just stuff that in there. But this is the as you're looking at the engine, because this is actually backwards, it'll sit like that on the engine. So this is the side that wasn't stuck. This is the side that was really stuck. So I noticed, it's like, wow, these things popped right out. When you'll see in that video, they just come right out. But they didn't want to go back in, and like, well, so I didn't try hammer them or nothing. And yeah, all you got to do is you just heat the cylinder up, and then it'll expand and they'll drop down in there. But before I do that, I need to get my ultrasonic back out, put my degreaser stuff in it, because I want to clean this thing up, drop it in there and clean it up before I reinsert these back into there. Heat them up and put them in there. So now this is the good side, and you know, you can see, yeah, it's got a little bit of gunk in here. My ball should be here today, my honing ball. I use the flex hones, that's what I use. This is the side that was stuck, and I'm hoping it's showing it up on the video. But it's pretty crusty. It's got a nice ring around here, but like I said in the previous video, a lot of it I'm able to kind of scrape off with my fingernail, so I'm going to try to chip it off and then hone it again and see how that works. I think I did kind of Google briefly. You might be able to get I think I can get replacements for these. If the pistons measure out 52 to 52.01, which is kind of a pain to try to measure these with these bars here, so I'm going to have to take the pistons out. But I mean, so far they're measuring okay, and they're not scored on the sides, anything like that. The rings, definitely, like I said, I'm going to replace those anyway, no big deal. But the pistons look fine. I mean, other than some, you know, little carbon buildup on them. And I noticed there's more carbon buildup on the right side. Get you to see there, this one here, because I was kind of, you know, spraying them and hitting them with a brass brush here to see if I can see if there's any marking, like for the pistons, like that 52, 52 and a quarter, 52 and a half, see if it's been, you know, bored out any. But yeah, so that's where I am with this. Same with the head here. Where are we at here? Do I got you zoomed? I think I still got you zoomed. Let's zoom out. Ah, there we go. I want to put this in the ultrasonic too for quite a while and see if I can clean up these valves. I'm still waiting for my valve tool to show up. That stuff was supposed to be here Friday, never showed up. Now it's supposed to be here the day before Thanksgiving. So that's where I am with that and this. I'm going to mess around with heating that piston ring up while I've got it in here, because I don't want to take this thing out and set it in the vise and possibly mar the piston, so I'm going to try to do it with it still on the rod. That seems to me to be the best approach. And then continue. I probably ought to drain the oil out of this thing. I haven't done it yet. But then the next thing will be to take off. Let me see if I can get a light in here on you. Oh my God, you talk about a mess. Let's see if I can get you into here. Yeah, you can see that frickin' mess in there. I mean, it's bad. But, you know, the bike is 53 years old. So, it's a mess. But I did order a bunch of the seals, the shift shaft seal, the sprocket seal, some other seals. I got the gasket set coming. Basically all engine parts at the moment. I didn't order the rings yet because I wanted to see how bad these were before I did so, but I'm going to go ahead and order the rings because I know I'm going to need to replace those. And I'm guessing, I don't know if this chain has stretched, so I need to look. I'm going to look in the manual again to see if I can, and I should be able to, take this off, lift it out, because I was kind of looking down in there and to see, you know, how this mechanism works, and it looks like it just sits and rides up on top of here and then goes, flip my camera around here, my lens around here, See how this moves? This whole cam chain thing. I see that there is, I can see the sprocket down there. So, should I don't know if this chain was ever replaced. Obviously somebody was in here, hence the blue silicone everywhere. Should I go ahead and replace the cam chain while I've got this here? And it looks like I could just kind of put my zip tie on it, take this mechanism off here, lift it up and out of the way, and then run the new chain down with a zip tie on it and maybe a long needle nose pliers, grab the other end and pull it up and put a new chain on it. I got to look and see how much the chain is. I have really no clue. I haven't looked at that yet. But seems to me that if these pistons are okay, should I go ahead and get new pistons too while I'm at it? If everything checks out good and the bore is good and I don't need to overbore this thing, just go ahead and slap new rings on it. You know what? It just occurred to me. Remember I was talking earlier about how you could... How are we facing here? How are we facing? So this is in the bike. The head over there. We were talking about the stuck valve. Oh yes indeedy. Come on. Yeah. Clues, guys. Clues to all kinds of stuff. Okay, remember I was talking about this piston here? Let me zoom you in. Well, you can see him plain as day. Right here. Okay? There's these notches in the top of this piston. And I thought I did it with that piece of wood, but there's no way I didn't do it with that piece of wood. That valve, as I'm standing over here on the right side, yes. So, standing on, if you're looking at the bike from the front and you're on the right side, remember I showed you that valve that was stuck open? And then mysteriously it was unstuck when I got the head off. That valve was indeed open and it was hitting the top of this piston. That's what knocked, you know, made those marks in the piston. They're not bad. I can file them down. I mean, they're not bad at all. So, yes indeedy, this thing, that valve was stuck open. And I'm looking down in there. It's kind of hard to get you guys down inside there. But, yeah. Well, I mean, I plan on replacing the valves anyway, so that's a no-brainer. But I'll put this out before I do anything else. Kind of get your guys' feedback on these pistons. Keep it, file it, keep it and file it and keep it, or just go ahead and replace them. I mean, like I said, I don't see no scoring. Zoom you out here. I don't see no scoring on the sides or anything, so there may be no issue whatsoever. I gotta look up the price of the pistons, which I don't think they're all that expensive. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of where I am at the moment. I'll go ahead and pause you for a minute because I'm just going to heat this up and see if I can knock this top ring loose carefully, because I don't want to dent up, you know, the sides of the piston or anything. So I'll just heat it really good. Maybe that'll do the trick. Hit it with my PB blaster once I've heated it. So yeah, exciting stuff. I think it's exciting. When I get my valve spring compressor tool, I'll show you. Well, you guys will be with me on that one. I've never used one of those things, so that's going to be definitely a learning experience. But yeah, so hold on a sec. Let me do some heating, and I'll bring you back here in a bit. Yeah, I brought you along. Ooh, that's stinky. We'll let that soak in. See if it'll pop that, help pop that ring off. Egad, good thing I got my air cleaner going. Probably ought to turn that sucker on high. Ugh. But then it creates a lot of noise. So, and that's going to be hot, hot, hot. Leather glove time. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh, that's hot. Even through leather gloves, it's hot. I think I might have to let that cool down a little bit, guys. A little too hot. I think that'll work. I mean, I found where the gap is. It's over. You can see where I'm pointing here. It's right on this side, on the opposite side of you. So I'll let it cool down. Then if need be, I'll heat it back up, spray some more in there, see if I can break this thing loose. This is the piston that was stuck really good. So I'll keep at that and see if we get to make any progress. You know, a little expansion and contraction. Maybe that'll do the trick. I'm hoping. So yeah, back here in a little bit, guys. One thing I did want to point out, before I forget, is all these little dowels. You know, there's a bunch of them in here. I found one, and it must have been stuck in the head down inside here. But they do sell them. I checked out on Partzilla. They do sell these still. And this one here is a little egg-shaped, a little bent. So I'm going to order a set of those. You can see in the bottom, there's one here. And there's the one stuck there. These two have them in there. There is, I wanted to say there was, yeah, there's two of them right here and here with little O-rings. So I need to make sure I have all of those. Need to look into that a little bit more. But I just thought I'd show you that, guys, before I forgot. So yeah, be back. Okay, I can't see. I don't think I can see you. I'm trying to do this to where you can see. I'm just taking this long pick. I think I got these at Harbor Freight. And just tapping while I've got that piston leaning up against these. Just see if I can move it. And it broke. Ooh, that's hot. Hot, sucker. Okay, I need to, before I continue further, since I had a piece break off there, put that down there. Put that down there. That way when I'm whacking this thing, and you can see, it's kind of, let me get my glove on. That sucker's still mighty toasty. See if I can get this other side. Broke free. You can see this top one here is off. So let me give this side a whack. Gentle whacks. I think that side's coming free. Yes. Okay, now what I need is a tiny flat screwdriver. I really need a long one, but I don't have a long one. Oh, yeah. So see, that's free. I need to get this screwdriver wedged up under here. Grab that. Kind of walk this around. See, that one just broke. That piece broke off. Whoa, that sucker's hot. And that broke off. So there is the ring. I believe the gap all the way around is free. Let me come around the other side here. Yes. So there you have it, guys. Piston ring is out. I don't think that's a keeper though. I think I definitely got to get some rings now. But I can, at this point, get out the feeler gauge and look in the manual and see how these ring gaps are looking. They should be good. So yeah, that is one less problem to deal with. So that is out of there. And now you know. Propane, heated up generously. PB blaster, good stuff, which I got on my grocery list to get more today. And these tiny little picks, you know, it's angled on one end, straight on the other. And there you go. The ring is out. So now I can commence to measuring that stuff and make sure it is good. And maybe I ought to clean off my workspace a little bit. Let me show you my workspace, because you're going to laugh. Right there. And the crates behind it are the TC125 parts. So yeah, I got a lack of space here, so I need to do some little organizing today and move some stuff around. But we got the piston ring out, so we are good to go. On to the next little thing. Bring you back here shortly. Alright guys, I've got the ultrasonic heating up. I'm going to take this cylinder right here. You can see how grungy it looks. Looks pretty bad. I'm going to go ahead and take this and put this in the ultrasonic, let it clean up. And the way I'm doing this, is so I can keep track, is this pinhole in the back, well, that connects to the back of the block. So as you're looking at, I'm going to do this as you're looking at the bike, not sitting on the bike. This is going to be my right cylinder, left cylinder. So hold on a sec, bring you back here shortly. Alright guys, got this out of the ultrasonic. I'm trying some new citrus cleaner a friend of mine gave me to try, and it actually does pretty good. So I think it turned out pretty good. I had to scrub a few spots like right around in here and here. I've been leaking oil over the years. But yeah, I mean, it'd be really nice to have a vapor hone, which I'm looking at possibly making one. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, while I got you, you know, being the genius that I am, not, because we all know I'm not a genius. Probably should have drained the oil on this thing before I took the engine out. I maybe I'll get under there and knock it loose, but I've got it sitting up in this tub so I can start spraying some degreaser and stuff on it and cleaning it up. I will show you this piece right here. That's the cap. I'm going to throw this, and you see how crappy it looks. See it? See it? I'm going to throw that in the ultrasonic since I've got it running over there. I've been tinkering all day, so cleaning the garage up and just doing all kinds of stuff. I have no idea what that thing is, but this. Well, I know what that is. That's the tack thing. But I'm going to throw it in there and see how clean it gets. I'm guessing this thing goes like that, I guess. So anyway, I'll throw that thing in there. We'll see how that turns out. But yeah, just been cleaning, you know, actually I've been cleaning up in the garage here so I can make a little space. I've currently got the head over there. I did put it in there, but it didn't come out that clean. I think that stuff I was using was nasty. So anyway, here we are, and I just want to grab a few quickie measurements. I can't really remember if I showed in the last video. I ordered a bunch of parts that I'm going to need, gasket kit, things like that. Who is that? Common Motor. They had a Black Friday sale on some stuff, so their valves are normally $100, so I got them for 70. And I picked up a few other things while I was there. So anyway, what we want to do here, or what I want to do, is you can see I got the manual, guys. I actually got the manual out. Now I don't have, well, I do have a bore, dial bore gauge, but B&Z cylinders are right at 2 inches, and it is 2 inches to 6 inches. I just don't know how accurate that thing's going to be. So anyway, I'm just going to use the snap tool method, dial caliper method, indicator method, or yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so, and I did label these right and left, so I remember which one is which. I'm going to weigh the engine, so next flip or whatever, I'm going to weigh all the parts because I've got it apart. Yeah, so anyway, okay, it states in the manual here that the standard value for the standard bore is 52.00 to 52.01 millimeters. If it's over 52.1 millimeters, or 2.0512 inches, then you need to bore it over. So let's set this thing down here. We'll get a reading from the top. We're about 1/4 inch down, and according to the caliper here, I'm at 51.99 or 52 millimeter. Okay, so let's go a little farther down. We're going to go about halfway down. (51.8283), 51.87, and let's go to the bottom. We're going about quarter inch or so from the bottom. Uh, 51.98. Now I've got this thing. Now this is in inches, but let's see what we got in here. Got it locked. Boy, it's hard to get these things lined up in here where it's straight. .041, and it says 2.051. So okay, so technically this is still within spec, and yeah, I did clean them out. I forgot to record that. I took my flex tool with some Yama lube down in there. Okay, now here is the cylinder that was the most scored. I don't know if that's going to show up in there. I can't really tell in this video, on the screen. But I feel nothing with my fingernail, so that's good. Let's see here. 51.95. Yeah, I know, and I won't do it on camera here, but I'll do this again, and I'll get a measurement this way and then a measurement this way. I'm just doing some quickie testing. Well, I got you guys here. 51.55. Let's make sure my snap gauge is reading all the way out right. 53.89, so we know that's good. Let's go from the bottom. $51.97. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm happy with that. I think that'll work just fine. The pistons, let's grab those. And it says here, yeah, I do have, I ordered a set of Chinese, I'm guessing they're Chinese, rings just as a test. See what we come up with. You know, if it don't work, I mean, actually there's a company over in the UK, IMD sleeves or something like that. I think they're 65 bucks a piece for these sleeves. So worst case, I could just order something there, or did talk to Dale. He can bore them out for me. It's next over size. Common Motor does have a 0.25 over piston set. I think it was 150 bucks. Don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly sure, but anyway, the pistons should read 51.55 to 51.60. It just says top and then skirt. So I don't know if it's referring to this as the top. I know what the skirt is. So anyway, let's go to the top here. $51.59. Ooh, that's close, but it's still in spec. Yeah, 51.59. And it said to measure perpendicular. I think it said perpendicular. 51.58. And then the bottom, $51.96, which is right on. 51.72, right above the pin. I think that one's gonna work. I'm gonna put these in the ultrasonic too. See if we can get some of that carbon off of them. 51.63, no, 51.60. Well, this one's right on the edge. But I may have crap on them too, so 51.59. So that's good. It's right under spec. Now this one is reading 51.92, which is within spec, because max spec is 51.98. And then 51.84. All right, so there we have that. which is good. So what I have next, I've been doing a lot of crap today, guys. I'm kind of tired. We have a valve spring compressor kit. So next up, we're going to try to pop them valves out, which I know are bad. I know at least one of them's bad. So we will stay tuned for that. And what else did I want to show you? I got a gas cap. And what else did I get? Because the gas cap, honestly, it was cheap, just as cheap really, to get a new gas cap versus just buying the gasket for the old gas cap. So I got a new gas cap now, which is nice. Okay, I think, let's see here. Actually, let's go on a little field trip. We'll go over to the ultrasonic. Since it's done making a racket. Okay, there's the head. And you can see it's okay. I mean, that water was really kind of dirty. I don't even know if it was cleaner. So let's take a look here. See how this thing's doing. So if you guys think I should build a, ooh, that sucker's hot. That's coming out pretty clean. You can buff that up a little bit. I just got the whole thing down here. Yeah, I did get that gasket seal for down there. That was one I was missing, so I did go ahead and order that. Let me put this back in here. See how this gunk is in here. Yeah, it's coming out. It's just dirty. Stupid silicone. Let's see if I can scrape that off there. Yep, come right off. Alright, we're going to put it upside down in there. We're going to let that run again. And then we're going to put the head back in. Let it do its thing. Got my glass plate out, so when I'm done with this, I'll deck the heads, surfaces, and make sure everything's looking good. Yeah, there's the gas cap. That's pretty exciting, man. It makes it look like a brand new bike, don't it? Hey, if anybody out there has a right-hand switch, let me know, because the mirror thing is broke on this. Yes, I need to order all new cables, one step at a time. I still need to take apart the carbs, sitting right there, and take a gander at those. And there's some gaskets and stuff like that in there. But yeah, I mean, it's, actually I could probably go ahead and throw this thing in there. I'll go ahead and throw it in while we're sitting there yakking. So, and I'll go ahead and drop the pistons down in there too, because I got room in my thing for it. So stay tuned. I'll be back once these things are done cooking. All right, folks. We have the valve spring compressor tool right here. I did cheat, take one out, because I've never used one of these things before. So I kind of wanted to see how the freaking thing worked. So that's one. And then we're going to pull this one out, and then we're going to check. We're going to put them in the drill and see if it's bent. That one came out pretty easy. So I'm guessing, whoops, it's not bent. Let's see here. See if I can get you guys lined up so we can kind of see, because I don't have a stand or anything to put this in. So I don't know how well you're going to see that, but I got a big one of these on the valve head side, and then I got a smaller one over top of the spring side. So let's put this thing in here and kind of crank it down. I may have to come up with a different method for putting them in. I got a stand coming. Here's one of the keepers. See if I can get this other one out. Okay, got the other one out. Okay, so now let's release the pressure, not drop that little doohickey. Yes, I have safety glasses on. Okay, something doesn't go wild on me. I think I can take this off. Put that back on, so I know which one I'm using. Okay, so the thingamajiggy popped off. Let's take the magnet, wherever I put that at. Pull the springs out. There is a inner spring and an outer spring. And I don't know if, honestly don't know if the orientation matters. Yes, I think it does. I think it's the fat end. I'm going to take, so that came out with the rusty side. The rusty side was towards the base. We'll set that over top of that thing. See if this will pop out. And it came right out. So here is the other exhaust valve. Let's chuck it up in the drill. Give it a spin. Looks good to me. Doesn't look bent. We'll put them in back into position the way they came. Chuck the other one up. Huh, that looks good too. Okay. We'll leave those right there on the table. Now let's, those are the two exhausts. I'm going to throw the keepers in my little sandwich bag. Stick those down the bag. Alright, so that is the exhaust side. Let's see if we can get the intake side off. Make sure I got them lined up. That looks pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. So far, so good, guys. It doesn't seem to take a whole lot of pressure. And sometimes you need a little pick those keepers apart. Okay, there's one intake keeper. There's the other one. Got to put a little ball on the end of that, keep it from coming back out. Because I keep dropping it. Okay, so that one's off. Okay, so got the cap off. What a magnet. So there again, rusty side down. The reason it's rusty is I had it in the ultrasonic. Now, this one here, I think I'm going to need a little piece of dowel rod to push that out, or tap it, give it a little tap. So let me round up something to tap on the end of that. So be right back. Alright, found this little doohickey. Guess you put a saw blade in it. Let's see if we can give it a little whack. Okay. One intake valve. Actually, these valves probably don't look that bad. Probably could have saved myself 70 bucks, but hey, I've got them ordered already, so what the heck. That one's going maybe a little wobble to it. Let's see here. So we'll put that back down there. So that's intake valve number 1. Let's get this thing positioned. Put my little keepers down the bag. And let's see if we can get intake valve number 2. Find it easier, just lay this thing on the table and get it positioned over the valve. Snug it up. Now putting this back on, that may be a different story. Okay, so I got that end up lined up over the valve head. Let's turn this thing down. Hopefully my big old head, hopefully you can see, kind of see. Get a little pick in there. There's one half of the keeper. And the other one fell right out. So there's the other half. Let's unwind it. Yeah, I know. Go ahead, get a laugh on me. I really need to remember to hold on to the damn thing. And then we'll take a look at the valves. Where are my magnets? Okay, so this one pushed right out. Right there. Trying to see if there's any pitting on them. Yeah, maybe a little bit. I don't know. You know, I could probably have just cleaned these right up and put them right back in. Let's give it a spin. That one looks pretty good. Let's try that other one again. Where is the... There's the cap. The mysterious washer here. That was on the exhaust side. I wonder if there's another one in there. Oh, before I get too lost. Let's take a look. Yeah, I think there is washers down in here. Let's see. Yep. That's the top. There's a little rubber thingy down in here. Okay, so it goes the big flat washer, then this piece goes flat side down, and then there's this tiny little piece right there. Those are on the exhaust, so let's not get those confused. Although I have an extra tiny little washer. I noticed this was laying on the towel. We'll leave that out of the bag there for a minute and see if we come up with another one. I don't see anything. Let's get the intake ones off. If those come off. Yeah, they do. I'm kind of puzzled though where that other little washer came out of. I'm going to have to get a very small kind of wire brush down in here to clean that up. Yeah, I don't see on the table here another one of those little washers. I will look. It shows 2 springs, a retainer, a valve seat, and a valve spring seat. That must be the little rubber piece. Yeah, I have no idea, guys, what that goes to. Okay. Looking at the manual here, let me give a breakdown. So the inlet valve, so you have the inlet valve, then you have the seat, then you have the inner valve spring, outer valve spring, the valve spring retainer, which is at the very top, and then the keepers. It does not mention a other small washer, so I'm kind of puzzled what the heck that goes to. But I had it on the exhaust side when that popped out, so maybe it's something to do with that. I am not sure. So let me get those off. Try to get those off. Try to hit it with something wire. Hold on a second. I don't know if this will work. I need something a little different. Yeah, wire brush might help. I can't get underneath it. I might be able to get it good enough to where I can lift it out. Then I'll see if I can find something to clean it up. See if it'll pop out.
Nope. May have to try it with a magnet on both sides of it. Okay, I got one off. Okay, so putting them back the order in which they came out. I mean, I got it right there in the manual, so I guess it don't really matter. Just trying to wiggle this other piece out. Not wanting to come out. Let me hit it with a little PV blaster. Of course, the other thing is what's the best way to clean these ports out of here? That one still is not wanting to come out of there. You can see what I'm doing. Let me grab another magnet. See if that helps. Okay, that got it. Okay, so we go back to this one here. Yeah, that one looks pretty straight too. I don't know. What I do know is if you look at those, you look at that piston, let me grab it. I got it on the other side. I was cleaning parts yesterday. So here's that piece. Had that in the ultrasonic. That came out pretty good. I'm happy with it. Alright, so here are the pistons. And remember, the top of that one there has, like it's been dinged. And if we look at these valves,
Doesn't look like it hit anything. But if you kind of line them up, and it was okay. Let's see here. If it's sitting down, it comes. Could it come into contact with that? I mean, I suppose it's possible. But I was going to take a little file and just smooth that off. Actually, let's grab a little file. It's a little chilly out today. It's supposed to get down to like 15 tonight. Yeah, it feels pretty good. I think that'll work. Worst case, yank it back out and get new pistons for it. Okay, so we got those out. What next? Look down here with the flashlight. You can see down in there, maybe. I'll try to clean them up as best I can. The other side doesn't look too bad. Then figure out a way to tiny wire brushes or whatever to clean out these ports. I noticed on the, which I kind of expected, on the exhaust side, where it sits right here, I'm going to take a wire brush and I'll wire brush around the where the valve sits, and give me a way to prop my flashlight up. The thing of it is, none of them appear bent. And I currently do not have a tool. And I was looking in the manual here, but it doesn't say anything. I haven't seen anything yet. I was looking at it last night about the valve guides, which are down in there, to what they're supposed to be. They do have some measurements for the head thickness, the length, the stem diameter, and the concentricity of the valve face. You can measure the free length of the springs. And that's about I don't know. I'm gonna have to look more in that manual. See what I can come up with. But in the meantime, I will take that wire brush Thought I had a wire brush. No, it was nylon. And clean these up as best I can. And I have no idea what that washer goes to. Unless it fell off of something else. I don't know. But I'm going to throw it in the bag with the exhaust stuff. Because I have no idea what it goes to. So alright, let me get I'm going to clean it. I'm not going to bore you with trying to clean these things out of here. Let me see what I can do with cleaning them up. And then see what we come up with. So stay tuned. Be back here in a bit. Alright guys, just wanted to bring you back. I've been fighting with getting the side cover bolts off. I ended up having to heat the crap out of them. But anyway, what I want you to see is, I'll try to zoom you in. I don't know if you can see it. But it looks like, oh yeah, you can see it. Looks like we got a little bit of metal in there. Which, yeah, I don't know. I'm not at this point too overly concerned. But yeah, this oil filler thing, yeah, had to heat the crap out of this. Hit it with the impact. I'm gonna get a new one. This thing getting kind of rounded off. But yeah, that thing was on He-Man tight. These bolts here, I had to heat this one and then the three underneath. And then they're kind of bent, so I'm going to run the thread chaser through those when I take this side cover off. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to be too overly concerned with the shavings in there for now. So yeah, I just been playing around. I was messing with getting, you know, some measurements on the valves, and yeah, like I said a little bit ago, I think the other valves are fine, but it'll have new valves in it, so what the heck. And supposedly they're better valves, you know, which, you know, this thing will probably outlive me. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to bring you along for that real quick. I have been pondering how to get this starter out of here, and believe it or not, that manual does not even mention this. I guess that is just for the engine. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm guessing. I looked in the back of the book, and it's for the CB or CL 125. Anyway, so I don't know if there's any bolts up under this cover here, so hence I was going to take the cover off. But while I had it, I couldn't get those screws loose with it sitting on this wood here, so I ended up taking it off, whacking the crap out of it, heating the bolts up, heating these three up underneath here and this one up here. And I didn't see any, like, you know, Honda Bond or, you know, I know they didn't have Loctite back then, but I don't know. And it's hard to tell, but they definitely look a little bent. But anyway, I mean, that doesn't matter because, yeah, I know it's not original, guys. But because these things are such a pain to get out, I went ahead and got the stainless steel bolt kit for it. So I know, chastise me for not using original bolts or screws. But I'm gonna have to, I'd have to get a bunch of new screws, because I know that one's kind of bent. I think two underneath here are kind of bent. So, you know, instead of fighting that, I'll just use the stainless steel ones. I think they were like 14 bucks at 4-in-1. So I've still got oil just kind of dripping out of here. I'm just going to let this thing drip for a while. Drip, drip, drip. Make sure I get all of it out. And that way too, I can kind of look down into the timing chain area and see if I see anything down there. Where did I just put my flashlight? I'll show you. Well, I think I'm gonna have to take off that thingamajiggy. Yeah, it just looks like oil. I can't really tell. Sprocket looks good. Let me see if I can get you down into here. So you can see the sprocket, and then you can see down the bottom. I mean, other than it looking dirty, it don't look bad. I don't know. So I'm gonna get the oil completely drained out. That way I can take this thing back off and flip it on its side, because I don't think I'm gonna have enough purchase with that piece of wood, because this side cover is sitting on this wood. Yeah, so that's where I am at the moment. I planned on taking the starter out, spraying this thing down with degreaser, and going to town on it. Starting to clean some of this stuff up. I'll bet you the screws on this side of the cover, the clutch cover side, I bet you they're just as freaking tight. But I'm kind of guessing this thing's never been torn apart then, because these things did not look all gnarled up, other than what I gnarled up whacking it with the impact. And yeah, looks like maybe one screw over here is a bit gnarled. Looks like it's been hit, but all the other ones look perfect. So I don't know. I'll bring you back here in a minute when I get all the oil drained out. I'll get it off the cart. Come on, I have to dump the oil out, wipe the pan out, so I can use it for the degreasing it. So I'll be back here in a little bit.